अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय.
The golden sun bathed the sacred plains of Kurukshetra in its soft morning light. A light breeze carried the echoes of conch shells and the shuffling of armored feet. Elephants trumpeted, horses neighed, and flags fluttered under the crimson sky. On one side stood the mighty Kaurava army, towering, confident, and led by veterans like Bhishma and Drona. On the other side, the Pandavas stood, silent yet resolute, their hearts a storm of dharma, pain, and purpose. From the top of the Hastinapur palace, Dhritarashtra, the blind king, sat still as stone, his mind restless. He clutched the arms of his throne. Beside him stood Sanjaya, eyes closed, fingers pressed to his temples, receiving the divine vision granted by sage Vyasa. Well, Sanjaya, tell me, what are they doing there in Kurukshetra, the holy land of Dharma? Dhritarashtra's voice trembled, half with fear, half with hope. Sanjaya opened his eyes slowly, as if awakening from a trance. They stand face to face, O king, and the winds carry whispers of destiny. In the Pandava camp, Arjuna walked along the rows of soldiers, his heart heavy with confusion. He looked at the faces around him, Abhimanyu, his son, full of fire and idealism, Nakula and Sahadeva, calm and calculated, Bhima, who cracked his knuckles in anticipation. Brother, Arjuna turned to Yudhishthira. Are we right in this? Fighting our own kin, teachers, elders? Yudhishthira placed a hand on Arjuna's shoulder. Dharma is not always clear, Arjuna, but silence in the face of adharma is greater sin. Arjuna looked toward the enemy lines. He could see Bhishma, standing tall, a god among men. Beside him, Guru Drona adjusted his bow. They raised us, Bhaya. They taught us. And now, suddenly, a conch shell blade Krishna's conch, Panchajanya. Arjuna turned. The charioteer, who had seen the world's beginning, stood with a calm smile. Krishna, Arjuna whispered, why does my soul tremble today? Krishna climbed into the chariot and held the reins. Because, Arjuna, you are standing on the real battlefield, not of war, but of the self. Back in Hastinapur, Dhritarashtra leaned forward, breathing heavily. My sons, what are they thinking, Sanjaya? Will they retreat? Will the holiness of that land make them pause? Sanjaya shook his head slowly. No, O king. Duryodhana is burning with pride. He mocks the Pandavas' strength. He sees righteousness as weakness. Dhritarashtra's fingers curled around the throne. Why? Why did I not stop him? So many times I could have. When Draupadi was humiliated, when they were sent to exile, I remained silent. A tear escaped his sightless eye. Am I truly Dhritarashtra, the one who clings to the kingdom he never earned? Sanjaya spoke gently. That is the battle within us all, Maharaj. You are not alone in this blindness. The world is full of it. Drive me between the two armies, Krishna, Arjuna said, voice shaking. Let me see who I must fight. Krishna nodded and guided the horses forward. As the chariot stopped in the middle of the two great armies, Arjuna stood tall and his world fell apart. He saw Bhishma, eyes closed in silent prayer. Drona, his beloved guru, drawing arrows with precision. Friends, cousins, uncles, all arrayed for slaughter. His bow slipped from his hand. Krishna, I cannot do this. My limbs tremble, my mouth dries. This is not a war, it is a massacre. Krishna turned to him. Why this despair, Arjuna, in a time of duty? What use is victory bought with the blood of kin? Even if I win the kingdom, whom shall I rule for? All joy will turn to ash. Arjuna's voice cracked. It is better that I lay down my arms and die unarmed. Krishna's eyes glowed with divine light. Your words are wise in form, but weak in spirit, O Partha. In the Kaurava camp, Duryodhana paced with fury. They dare to face me. After all, I did to crush them. That forest exile, the dice game, what did it all achieve? Karna stepped forward. They rise stronger from every fall. That is their curse and our doom if we do not crush them now. But it is a sacred land, Dushasana interrupted. What if it changes their hearts? Duryodhana snarled. That land has no magic. Dharma is a story the weak tell themselves before they fall. He turned to Shakuni. Uncle, you said this war would be ours. Shakuni smiled darkly. So it shall. But be warned, fate bows to no king, not even to those who cheat her. Back in the chariot, Krishna stood, his form expanding beyond mortal limits. A glow shone around him. You grieve for those who should not be grieved for, Arjuna. Wise men mourn neither the living nor the dead, he said, voice thundering yet soft. What then is Dharma, Krishna? Arjuna asked, eyes wide. To fight, to kill, to act, Arjuna, without attachment, without desire, to do your duty for its own sake, that is Dharma. But what of my emotions? My heart burns with conflict. That is the battlefield, Arjuna. Kurukshetra lies not only in land but within you, within every man who faces himself. Fight that war and you will know peace. Arjuna knelt. Guide me, Krishna. I am your disciple. I am lost. In the palace, Sanjaya stopped speaking. Silence hung heavy. Well, Dhritarashtra whispered. He surrenders, O king, Sanjaya said. Arjuna lays his heart bare and the Lord begins the greatest sermon ever spoken. Dhritarashtra sat back, eyes closed. In the darkness behind his lids, he could almost see the battleground of souls, where kings and cowards both fought their inner wars. I never saw the truth, Sanjaya, he whispered. I only held the crown. I never held Dharma. You still can, Maharaj, but not with your hands, with your heart. Later that night, a fire crackled in the Pandava camp. Arjuna sat with his son Abhimanyu, who sharpened his sword playfully. Are you afraid, father? He asked. Arjuna looked into the boy's bright eyes. I am afraid of losing you. Abhimanyu laughed. Then don't let me fight. Arjuna smiled faintly. But you would never accept that. No, this is our war, father. Yours may be Dharma. Mine is justice. They humiliated my mother, my uncles. I am not afraid. Krishna approached quietly. And so the soul speaks, young yet ancient, brave yet untouched. As dawn broke again, the two armies stood poised. The ground trembled with the march of fate. But a greater war was being fought in hearts, in doubts, in choices. Kurukshetra was not just a field, it was the soul's mirror. Dhritarashtra listened, his hand still gripping the throne. Tell me, Sanjaya, he said softly, in this war, is there any victory? Sanjaya looked up. Only if we conquer the enemy within, O king, only then. And the wind carried that truth across the sacred land where Dharma finally would decide the victor.